Este episodio de Word to Your Mama es patrocinado por McDonald's. Mira, no necesitamos otra razón para reunirnos en McDonald's, pero el crew sigue dándonos más. Recuerdo cuando era niña. No teníamos mucho, pero de vez en cuando alguien de la escuela tenía una fiesta de cumpleaños, lo celebraban en McDonald's. Y los crew members eran parte de nuestra comunidad. Es tu gente, tu comunidad y tu relación con el crew de McDonald's lo que hace que sea tu McDonald's. Todos tenemos un McDonald's especial. ¿Cuál es el tuyo? McDonald's. Me encanta. Hola, and welcome to episode 91 of Word to Your Mama. Word to Your Mama is a podcast about the life of a Latina mama, that's me, and the lives of my amazing multicultural tribe. It's a celebration of shared experiences navigating this dynamic world. There will be special guests, mad laughs, and absolutely no BS. Nah, B is our motto. Segments by the supernatural bear. He's 9 going on 49. But other than that, this podcast will be explicit. Please believe it. Now, why do I have a wider range of guests, amazing guests on this podcast? It's because I come from the different industries and experiences. I come from music, art, design of vinyl tour world, and now Web3. And today we have Jasmine Ruiz. She is a comedian, dancer, writer, and actress. And I met her because I was maybe a couple of weeks ago, I think I mentioned this on Relatives or something like that. I was on the Rick H show, which she is co-host of. But before that, though, I was already following her on the Tip Tops. So to be on their show, her and Rick's show, and then I got to meet her that way was hella exciting. But then when she said yes to be on this show, I was like, it is on and popping. She has an amazing story and she has a lot of things to say. So in this episode, we talk about, having the agency to claim all the titles, being nice, being hella nice with it when it comes to her dancing, creating the things you wish existed, the root of her character, Dr. G, that I had the honor and the pleasure of meeting when I was one of the guests on the Rick H show live. She also shares a little more about the TV series she's currently writing that's, she said, about being a cycle breaker. And so we had a great convo. And don't forget the Supernatural Bear Corner. The Supernatural Bear tells his version, what he thinks it would be like to be a first-gen kid right now, because he doesn't know anything else. So it's interesting to hear if he thinks it's going to be cool, if he thinks it's interesting, what his perspective is on if he was first-gen. I don't know. It's interesting to see his perspective from his crazy brain. But so let's get into this.
Hello. Can you hear me? Is everything good?
Yep, I can hear you. Good morrow, Jasmine.
What's up, Ritzy?
I don't know. I told you, but I'm going to tell you again. I'm super excited to have you.
I'm excited too.
Have this convo. Muchísimas gracias for being here.
Of course.
Let me start off like I start off all the time. How are you doing? ¿Cómo estás?
I'm all right. The weather's good. I'm looking forward to a wedding that I have in 3 weeks in Mexico. So I'm just
your wedding or someone else's wedding?
Someone else is getting married,
okay.
But I'm waiting to be there, And yeah, just been working, writing, and that's about it.
Nice. Good to hear.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, it's 9:00 over here and on the West Coast, and I maybe about 10 minutes ago, fully awake It takes me a while to wake up.
Got you. All right. Well, I'm glad to be starting your day with you.
Exactly. So thank you so much. So I know you do a bunch of things, but you have a lot of different titles, a lot of different things. You're multifaceted, multi-passionate. But like if someone asks you today and they don't know you and they say, what do you do? How do you respond?
I literally give them the list. I'm a comedian, writer, actress, producer. I do a little bit of everything. I'm a master of none, but that's okay. I'm doing it all. I have a lot of passions. Oh, and I'm a dancer. In case you didn't know, I got some moves.
Believe it. Please
I literally give them the whole spiel.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Because I was like, listening to episodes, I do my own intro in the beginning. So I was just wondering, I would list everything, but I was just wondering when people do so many different things, how do they introduce themselves? Yeah, because I think it also depends, right? Like what environment you're in, maybe?
Yeah, I think, I think how I identify is something that is constantly growing. And the reason I say that is because, I'm always trying new things. And, if I try something new and I love it and I'm enjoying it and I'm good at it, then, I'm always the type of person to identify as a thing. Like I went to Barnard, right? And we have this, what's her face went to Barnard. God, Joanne Rivers? No. God, it's blanking. But this other woman went to Barnard, and she's a comedian, and she's so funny. She's old, but
Joan
she
Rivers?
said,
Is that who you're talking about?
I think it was Joan Rivers. And she had said, what I love about Barnard is no one ever did anything; they became the thing. Like no one wrote poetry. She was a poetess, a poet, whatever. And I feel like I very much do that. It's like, if I'm dancing, like I'm a dancer, I'm writing, I am a writer. And yeah.
I love that. And I was checking out some of your dance videos. So what is the dance? Because I went to performing arts high school. Ooh. I didn't do the dance classes because I was too rough, but I would audition and still perform. Like I would still get it, right? So, but I was never like too confident enough to call myself a dancer. And then I moved to LA and I was like, I'm going to be a dancer. It was like, I'm a different era. So it was like, fly girls, it's on and popping, da da da. So that never happened. But has this been a long time thing and then you came back to it, or what's the history with dancing? Because I'm fascinated.
Yeah. So I've, like growing up, I would watch all these music videos and, it was just a big hobby of mine. I would dance, I would make my own choreo, in in elementary school, I was on like the after school dance team. I remember my first performance. We did Thriller. I must have been like, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. I remember I cut up my suit. We did like a crazy nice Thriller performance.
Is there video of that?
No, there's no video.
Oh, that'd be
honestly,
so cute.
I have one baby picture. Like one infant picture. Like I'm like, was I not loved? Were we too poor for a camera? What the hell was the problem? I'm convinced we were too broke for the camera. I don't know why there's no pictures of my childhood. So I've kind of just always danced. And in college, I was on Sabor, which is Colombia's first Latin dance troupe. We did all the salsa styles. We did some hip hop. We did some modern. We did reggae. Like we did everything. And then after I graduated, went into the corporate world, and I kind of just it just fell off. And then I joined back. I got into dance again with Urban Dance League in 2019, I think.
Oh, nice.
2018, maybe it's 2018.
Was it hard to get back into the groove, to pick it up?
Nah, I wasn't rusty. I was nice. I was nice. Like, when you got it, okay? Rhythm's in my blood. Like, I jumped back in like I never left. But since then, I've gotten so much better, which is crazy because in 2020, I would dance a lot, at home, and I started taking online dance classes and, making videos and learning choreo. I didn't want to let it go. At some point I did for comedy and writing and all of that stuff. And now, like a couple months ago, I just started the program again. Nice. And it's back like I never left. I was like, yo, I'm not even rusty. What's up? Like, what's going on?
That's amazing because let me tell you, I reconnected with the choreographer from back in the days, and we're both in LA, right? So we're like, oh, let's go to one of the major dance studios out here. And we went. We hadn't danced in, who's to say, 20 years, or like
Oh
taking
my
a real
goodness.
dance class in 20 years. And hip hop back in the 90s, choreo, if you look at it, kids, it's hella different, right?
It's hella
like,
different.
It's like, little counts, slower counts, and now it's like and like on the, on the ands and shit like that. So we went and we were like, it was tough. We talk about rusty. We were hella rusty. So I love to hear that, nothing has passed. You were still nice with it. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about where were you born and raised? Where were you born and raised where they didn't have a camera to take a bunch of pictures of you?
Yeah, you would think I was like in the campo of some random. No, I was born and raised in the Bronx. I got some pictures of like, little pictures here and there of 8, 7, 9, 12, but like no baby pictures. Like before 7, there's no pictures. I'm like, what the hell is that? What the hell was happening for 7 years? Yes, born and raised in the Bronx. I'm from Castle Hill. Shout out.
Nice. Oh, let me not get a call right now. Who the hell? Scam likely? Yes, for sure. I wanted to get into, on your site, you say, create the things you wish existed.
Absolutely.
So tell me, let's talk about that. Let's break that. Let's unpack that.
Yeah, that is a guiding force in my life when it comes to anything I create. I only create what I want to see. I don't create for an audience. I create for myself. And if an audience is out there that appreciates that, content, then they're going to look at it. They're going to like it. Someone's going to be on the same page as me and appreciate that. I don't want to create for other people. I'm not, creating with this strategy of, okay, this is my audience. This is what they want to see. I want to do, that's just not my thing. I want to create things that I want to see, something that like I'm compelled to put out. And that's really important to me. It's how I make all my creative videos. Not to say that I've never created for an audience. And, I have. That's how I learned, like, oh, that sucks. I don't know, why the hell am I doing that? Like if I'm not dying over my own video, if I don't think it's funny, why the heck am I posting that? Like for the algo, I can't do that. I've tried it and I can't do it, which is probably why I'm like kind of stuck at my follower count right now, but that's fine with me. I don't do it for the follower count. I create because there's something that I need to get out there. And a lot of my creation is cathartic for me, whether it's like a funny video or writing a joke or writing my show. It's like a means of expression. It's not just me doing something to do something. It's doing something that is not existing. And I want to see it.
Yeah. And, when you talk about the being stuck or plateau with followers, I mean, I don't think it's quantity, it's quality, right? Because right now it's all about that, like, the micro influencer, because people recognize you might not have, I mean, you have a grip of followers, but like, you might not have millions, but the people you do have like ride for you.
Yes, they rock with you. And, I think that's really important. And also like a number, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Like I feel no different having 100,000 followers versus when I had 3, like I'm still doing stuff because I want to do it. It doesn't change anything. I ain't got $100,000 coming in every month. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a number. It's just a number. So I try not to focus on it. I try to just, keep doing what I'm doing that people like to see. And I'm glad that they like to see it. And some of my favorite videos have like no likes, it's like my favorite, but like, that's my personal favorite video. I'm like, wow, that really, that was funny. I don't care if no one liked it. I still look at it and be like, I am my biggest fan.
And that's how it should be. And I think that for anyone listening who wants to create or that's creative, I think that's the key, right? That's one of the big takeaways is what you said. Like, I just started posting my face for the first time ever, which is hard for me.
Great face, go post it.
But it's like, I was like, I can't do those types of things. That's just not me. Like, it didn't feel authentic and genuine. And I think it's super transparent, right? People people can see that, like, oh, she's not really into what she's doing.
Yeah.
And I think people can feel it and see it and sense it. And I love that you said you're doing it for you first. If they're down, they're down. But if you're doing it for you first, and I think that's what matters most. Because, you know, back in the days, with music in my Gen X back in the days in the 80s, it was you can only do one thing, only listen to one type of music, and I would never follow that. And I was like, well, but no, I like new wave and hip hop equally. And so I love how now you could do so many different things. But I think what I'm seeing, and let me know what you think, or maybe you've never felt this because you're of another generation. People could do, I think also with access with the internet, we have so much access to the world that you can be a writer, a comedian, you know, a dancer, so many things. Before it was just like hobbies, side things. But now it's like, oh, I am this. And I love that. And I feel like, you know, your generation, younger generations, it's like no sweat off your back. It's like, no, yeah, I'm this. And I love that. So have you always had that agency to declare, I'm this? Now I want to do this. It's like, I'm this.
I have always have that agency. And that's just because like, I've always been confident, you know, and that I feel, I know that that's very rare. You know, I feel like so many people these days, you know, lack confidence. And, you know, I've always had that. I've always felt like I have the agency to do whatever I want. And, I'm also just the type of person that when I want to do something and I'm really passionate about it, I can't just do something and not feel like that thing, because I'm just like, I'm that bitch, you know, I'm just so gassed in my head of self-belief that like, whatever I'm doing, I'm like, oh, I'm this, you know? And I don't think there's ever anything I've done that I'm like, I'm not this, you know. I joined a basketball team one time. In middle school for like a few weeks. I didn't think I was a basketball player, but you know, on the dance team, I was like, I'm a dancer.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that is also indicative to me, probably why I quit after 2 weeks, is because like, I wasn't, you know, feeling that so deeply that I was that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think that agency is important, but I would agree with you that, you know, in having the internet, you can be things, you know, the internet is either going to be a distraction or a resource for you. You're either going to use it for entertainment or education or both. But you can literally be anything. There's a guide out there of how to do anything, and you just have to find it, and, you know, mix it up in a way that works for you so that you can, you know, reach your goals and get to the place where you want to be. But there's definitely, you could do anything. You could be anything.
Right. So did you see, you know, I always feel that a lot of people are born a certain way and then the environment and all these things come into play. But did you see, was you being born with this, you know, tenacity, was it enriched by seeing someone? Was there someone in your family, or was there someone that you looked up to outside of your family that you saw, oh, they're confident, they do what they do and stuff like that?
So growing up, I didn't really have a lot of role models. You know, I looked up to J-Lo because I'm from Castle Hill and she was from Castle Hill. And I was like, it was just so obvious to me. I was just like, if she could be on TV singing and dancing and she's from Castle Hill, why the hell couldn't I do what I want to do? You know, growing up, I always thought I wanted to be a singer. I wish I had kept singing, but I heard myself when I first got an answering machine, and I was just like, there's no future in that for me. You know, I wish I had enough self-belief to be like, I'm going to learn how to get better. But I did not, which is fine. You know, but I think, you know, J-Lo has always been proof to me that you could literally go from, it doesn't matter where you start off, like you can get anywhere you ever want to go. And, you know, as I grow older and, you know, I follow more people, there that list just continues to grow of like people that I look up to, or people that are proof that you can do anything, whether it's J-Lo, Jay-Z, Eminem, Russ, you know, it's proof that you can literally do anything.
Speaking of Russ, well,
I'm obsessed with him, love him.
How did you feel when he when he stitched
I was
your
like,
video.
it's inevitable, like that's what's up. I was hella gassed. I was like, yo, Russ saw my video, was good. He liked my little sprinkle. I was hype. Yeah, I love his work ethic. I love the message in his stuff. And he, like he said, he's making equity rap. This is going to be out forever. It's not some cute little fun shit for the summer. It's a real message in there. And, I don't like none of these new rappers. So I really appreciate someone with a message. And if you don't have a message, there's no way I'm listening to your stuff.
Yeah.
That's real.
Oh, hilarious. So let's talk about someone that I was privy enough to get to know and get some advice from. A couple of weeks ago, I was on one of the many things that you do. You co-host the Rick H show with Rick H. Shout out to, you guys are the sister brother podcast in Latina Podcasters Network, and you guys were awesome enough to have a couple of us on, and I got some sound advice from a Dr. G.
He's the bomb. He got good advice. He's a gangster and he keeps it real.
I was like, we were like, all of us were looking like, what is happening? Rick's like, oh, I got a gift for you when someone comes on. I'll have a link to the entire episode on the show notes.
I don't want to drop that so people could go see.
Yeah, because I'm not going to drop the gems or everything that happened, but just know that I met this amazing, who was Dr. G? A therapist?
Dr. G, he's a gangster. And he's a therapist. And the way that he provides therapy is very toxic. And he invalidates you by reminding you that it can always be worse. And therefore, you're just soft and you need to toughen up and keep it pushing. And I think that is so funny. And, that character came from, that would happen between me and someone in my family quite often where, we'd talk about things that we were going through and anything I was going through was never like a real problem. It was like, my man, you ain't got no real problems. You're soft, you worried about and I'm over here struggling to eat. It was always like, because they had it worse, it's like my problems never existed. Yeah. And it was never a funny moment when, that was real life, but I turned that, I create cathartically. I turned those memories that I had and those experiences into this funny character that he actually ends up making people feel better. In real life, I never felt better after that, but I was like, well, what if it really worked? What if people really did, just see the brighter side, like, yo, it could be worse. Let me toughen up. Let me get stronger and keep it moving. And that is the birth of Dr. G. And, he's so funny. And I love writing those skits.
I love that. And I was like, how did she come in like full, was that makeup? And then all of a sudden
it's like eyeshadow.
and then you just like it came off nicely.
Dr. G is fresh. He got to stay fresh and clean. It's always very chiseled cut. His barber is on point.
The lineup was on point.
The lineup is on point, and he gotta stay fly. You gotta stay fly.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean,
Thank
I know
you.
you have like probably more characters, but to be introduced to Dr. G in that way was fantastic. And I would tell people, they're like, oh, I missed the live. I was like, it's cool because you can watch the entire thing anytime you want on YouTube. And then I would always tell them, I was like, you have to go to the end, all the way to the end, because we get some advice from Dr. G. It's comedy. You're going to love it. So that's why I've been telling everybody. They've been
my God,
it.
Thank you. I'm so glad you love it.
So, okay, so let's get into the questions and comments from the audience.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, first one. Okay, I have two questions. Maybe we have time for a third, but from this person, I'm going to ask these two questions because one of them I asked when we had the live, but it was right before we were gonna go live. And you know how like there's that moment where it kind of like cuts out a little bit?
Okay.
So the first one is, How does she feel about the Bodega Boys breaking up? And then the second question is the one spot in the Bronx that she loves, and this is from my hermana amiga, Word to Your Mama, episode 86, writer extraordinaire Lilian Rivera, also from the Bronx.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Cox sabe que tu familia no para. Por eso ofrece nuevos paquetes de Internet que te brindan la misma velocidad y flexibilidad que esperas de Cox. Además, Panoramic Wi-Fi está incluido en algunos planes sin costo adicional. Es Internet que sigue tu ritmo. Todo sin contrato anual, que significa que no hay molestos cargos por terminación anticipada. Desconéctate de tu rutina, pero no de tu Wi-Fi cuando estás fuera de casa. Cox te da acceso a más de 3 millones de hotspots de Wi-Fi. Después de un largo día, reúnen la familia para una noche de películas con Contour Stream Player. Disfruta de deportes en vivo, tus programas favoritos en Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus y más con apps de streaming populares. Conoce más en cox.com/español.
Yes. Okay. Bodega Boys breaking up. So I feel like, I mean, they're both great. And I feel like whenever you start as a pair, naturally in life, you know, you guys are going to, because two people are different human beings, they have different interests. So, you know, I wish them luck in what they're going to go on to do. I think they're both hilarious. They're both funny. Obviously, we're always sad, like, damn, yo. It's like when Destiny Child broke up. It's like, damn, you know, but they go on to do their own things. And I think that that's just as exciting. And, you know, there's so many episodes that we could go back and watch for like a really good laugh. So, I mean, I'm okay. You know, I feel like they're going to go on and they're ready for that next level. And that's what's up. I'm proud. And as far as favorite spot in the Bronx, let's see. You know, I'm straight off the top of my head. I'm thinking of a few spots. I'm thinking one, Orchard Beach, because in high school I would go there all the time. I'm thinking Southern Boulevard and Fordham, because those are like shopping central for me. And I'm always also thinking about where. I spent a few years living in Pelham Parkway. And, you know, I think it's so beautiful over there. I love Morris Park. They have some really bomb ass food. But of all the, and I'm from Castle Hill, but of all those spots, my favorite spot in the Bronx, I want to live in Riverdale. So, you know, I want to say Riverdale too, but I'm going to say Orchard Beach. I just spent so many years, you know, going there and just chilling, you know, that's like a lot of good core memories there. And I know, you know, we call it Horseshit Beach, Chocha Beach. There's so many different names to this damn beach. But at the end of the day, you know, people go there, like on the Puerto Rican Day Parade, when you didn't want to go to the parade, you went to the beach and everybody was on the beach, you know, and, you know, playing salsa and stuff like that. You know, I have some really fond memories there.
Nice. And then the next question and comment from the audience is 10 years from now, what would have to happen for her to consider her career a success? And this is from your co-host, Rick H.
What would have had to happen for me to consider my career a success? Well, first, am I happy? So I define success in a few ways. You know, health, wealth, and happiness. I call it the Holy Trinity. But like specifically in terms of career, for me, what's really important is happiness and financial freedom. And, you know, I know so many people might roll their eyes at that and be like, really, money? But at the end of the day, money pays the bills. I'm trying to live a 1% life. And not even a 1% life. I'm trying to live like a 0.1% life because, it's really, listen, I have a good job, a good day job. And, there's a website where you could like plug in your level of education and your job and your income. And it tells you like what percentage you're in of your group. So whether it's like other Latina women, you could see what your percentage is. And I'm already in a really high percent. And that makes me sad because I'm like, wow, I don't feel like I'm done. I don't feel like I made it. I'm still budgeting. You know what I'm saying? But I want to live a life where I'm not budgeting, where that's not even a thing. And so for me to have success, in 10 years, I think I'll be successful if I have had, if I've sold my show. I have a show and I want to sell it. And I want to film it. I'm the writer and star of the show. So that needs to happen within 10 years. If that doesn't happen, I think I'll be really sad. If I'm happy, if I'm growing, like in 10 years from now, like I don't even want to be able to imagine like the level I'm gonna be at. I just want to grow in every single aspect. I want to know more about, acting. I want to know more about writing. I want to know, I want to have had more experiences. So I feel like, success to me looks like having a lot of money to the point where I'm not budgeting.
Right.
Not budgeting. That's like literally the goal. That's financial freedom for me. And, being able, of course, to like support my family, and really just being happy and growing in my field, and that looks like selling my show, maybe being in another show, maybe I have like some really cool partnerships. Maybe I, am guest starring on some other like sitcoms or things that I really love, or on shows on streamers, like things like that. I want to be like doing all of that. Love that.
And so are we able to hear a little bit more about the show that you have, or is that like under wraps?
No. I'm writing it right now, and I mean it's very much inspired by my personal story, which is a great one. So it's not like anyone could steal it. I hate when people are like, "Oh my God, I want to steal." No one can steal your show. It's your show. Right. No one has your mind. So my show, the whole theme of the show is like being a cycle breaker and socioeconomic movement. And I want the show to focus on what are the difficulties of being the first in your family to go to college. Right. Being the first in my family to go to college created, like, it was 100% a life-changing opportunity. And, for anyone that doesn't know, I went to Barnard College, which is Columbia's sister school. So it's a very elite institution, like top 2 in the country. And I know a lot of people feel different about college. Some people are like, oh, college isn't all that. But for me, it was literally like a completely life-changing experience because it was such an elite institution. So, I got a lot of experience to, different people and of course, create courses. But, unlike I think most schools, they taught me how to think. They taught me how to think. They taught me how to get to the bottom of things. They taught me how to be a seeker of truth. And, I come from a culture where that is not the case. Right. So because I have a college degree and I was able to learn and grow so much just in those 4 years and continue to do that, until now, being out of college 8 years plus now, there has been like a really huge divide between myself and my family because I no longer share the same belief systems or values or behaviors. Right. And it's something that no one talks about, how moving, and that is an issue that results from moving classes. That's what I believe, because college helped me change classes. And I think these are class issues, that I'm having here. And so I really want to talk about that. So, the show follows, first generation college graduate, she's Puerto Rican from the Bronx, basically me. And she's navigating, a corporate career, her very crazy family from the Bronx. And, she has her feet in these two worlds that never collide. And she's like this weird in between. And she doesn't really fuck with either worlds. She's not corporate and she's also not, from the hood anymore, you know,
Yeah.
like she doesn't embody that anymore. And you know, and it's a comedy drama, it's a dramedy. And so she also has like a dying social life because her and all her friends are like getting really deep into their careers and everyone's doing well, but that means that they're not seeing each other anymore. So she's trying to navigate like all these different things. That's like very quick summary of the plot, but yeah. And so you're going to see a lot of her and, you know, how she's going through these different, you know, situations and how she's chasing her dreams and, you know, the difficulties that come with her life choices.
I love that. I can relate 1000%. I was the first one in my family to go to college. And I wanted to find out, I think so many of us can relate from all the different generations, especially being first gen. Excuse me. I did a talk for Wonder Woman Tech One a couple of years ago, 2020, I think the first year of the pandemic. And in my talk, I talk about how I'm the first in my family to go to college. And then I had, who's now one of my mentees who reached out because of that talk, the question she asked, and the question that she asked made me realize that I never even noticed that that's what happened to me too. She said, how do you navigate being the first in college when your family, when it should be like a happy moment, but your family and those in your neighborhood don't treat it as such? And I was like, that's a great question, because the same thing happened to me where I was like, this is a huge accomplishment. Someone in the family is going to college. Like, this should be celebrated. But instead it was like, oh, you think you better than us? Right?
I hear you.
Same thing happened to her. Same thing happened to me. And so what I told her is that you have to just do you. Because what they're not reacting to you. They're reacting to their own situation.
To themselves.
And where they're at and their complications and their trauma and their issues. I was like, so you just concentrate on you. I go, people without telling you, I go, time can pass. And those that are going to see it and change and see how good this is for you and how good it is for the neighborhood to see someone to quote unquote get out and make it and better themselves, they'll see it. And those who don't, they'll be stuck and it'll be unfortunate and sad. I was like, but there'll be people that see you and you'll probably never hear about it, but there'll be someone, a little boy, a little girl in your neighborhood that said, she made it, or she did something. She had a goal and she set out and she's better for it. Now, you know, she's in tech now and she's almost going to graduate. So I was just like, I was wondering, that happened to me. You know, some people came around and fucking apologized in a Latino family, unheard of, but it happened. And
nice.
I keep it. But you know, so was that the case for you? Did you get some like pushback?
For the case for me, you know, everyone, I serve a very interesting role in, you know, my immediate family. I feel like I am, you know, proof that there's good in us, you know, and, you know, like everyone's very proud of me, and that is a house phone, you know.
Old school, I love it.
Old school, it's grandma's. Everyone is very proud of me, and everyone appreciates, you know, how far I've come and what I've done. That's great.
Yeah.
The thing is, everyone loves that I'm smart, but no one loves when I'm smart with them.
Right.
People love like, oh yeah, Jasmine is, you know, she's this, and this. But when I bring that to them specifically, whether it's making a comment about, okay, but why would you do that? Whether it's making like a critical comment or giving some type of constructive feedback, no one wants to hear it. Then it's like, oh, why are you getting smart with me? Well, because I'm smart.
Exactly.
Because I'm smart. And, you know, I feel like, you know, I don't know. I think it's a culture thing. People don't like to hear the truth. And, you know, the truth hurts. And therefore people try to lie about the truth. And I am a seeker of truth. And, you know, even sometimes to my own detriment, I make sure the truth is spoken, even if it doesn't have to be. And that is like one of my personal flaws, you know, like if I could just bite my tongue, you know, a lot of arguments would be avoided, but that's very draining for me.
Yeah.
Equally as draining as fighting about things. But yeah, you know, I feel like I feel like it's difficult. It's a difficult spot to be in when people praise you for, a ton of qualities, but then they don't like to see those qualities in action when it comes to them specifically. So, and like you said, that just comes from other people, living in their head and identifying with their traumas and things like that. And that's one of the, dividing factors. And that's just growth, that is literally just growing. And, if you're not growing, I don't believe in stagnancy. To me, you're either progressing or regressing. And there is no stagnancy. So it's a difficult spot to be in. But nonetheless, like you said, you just gotta do what's right for you. And, I had this conversation recently, and, I told my mom, this is going to be like, what? But I told my mom, Ma, like, I don't need your permission. I don't need your approval. I'm going to do me regardless, whether or not, you like or approve, because I'm a grown woman and I don't need that. And I feel like, especially in Latino culture, it's like people do not stand up to their parents. And I've never been of that ilk. My mom raised me like, you stand up for yourself. And, I stand up to her too. I stand up to everybody. I don't care who it is. Because at the end of the day, I feel like you need to protect yourself, and no one's going to do that more than you.
Exactly.
And that's very important. And, our culture doesn't understand boundaries, et cetera, et cetera. And so, to put them in place, you're going to have to be willing to stir the pot.
Yeah, a lot of pot stirring. But I really am excited. Let's put it out there. Let's put the good energy. It's not if your show will get made.
When.
Jasmine. It's when. It's when. And I can't wait to see it, because there's so many people can relate that feeling of, I'm not 100% over here. I'm not 100% over there. How do I do this? And then
and how do I make my own path? Because none of these exist, none of these existing paths are right for me.
Exactly. And I think that's why first gens are dope, because first gens are dope. And the ones that, we were the first to do such and such and venture out into the world. We show people what's possible. But I feel that a lot of us were dope because it was so tough for us to navigate, but we made it through. Like you and I are here talking today because we made it through. There's still more to do, but we made it through, and we've created, there was no lane. We created our own lane. And I feel like that's hella important. So I'm excited to see your show. Do we have a working title yet?
I do have a title.
We don't have to share.
I'm a little protective of the title, but it's phenomenal. It is a phenomenal title.
I'm sure it is. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, so let's get into the not so rapid fire questions, the AKA slow as hell questions. Are you ready, Jasmine?
I'm ready.
Okay, first one, 3 words to describe yourself.
Joyful, inquisitive, and light.
Love it. Next one. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
That's amazing, because that's simple, but all encompassing.
It's all encompassing. It's like, I've received a lot of advice. I've talked to so many people, and I am, because I'm so inquisitive and always trying to grow, I'm always asking people questions. I'm like, well, what do you think? And what did you do? I'm always trying to learn from people's lives. I love listening to podcasts and stuff like that.
Same.
And I've received a lot of advice. I would say keep going and learning that you have to just protect yourself, and you only have time out. Keep going. Yes. But life is a single player game. That like sentence in and of itself completely changed my life, because for a long time, like I was so sad that like my friends were never around, I didn't have the closest community. Now I have all of that. But I remember a time where, like I said on my show, everyone was very much into their careers, and I wasn't seeing people, and I felt very alone. I had my partner, but it's different.
Yeah.
A partner cannot fulfill the needs of an entire community.
No.
And, my partner told me, he was like, life is a single player game. And it literally just like something unlocked in my head. And I was like, oh my God, like like I am the CEO of my life. I need to make the choices that are right for me.
Right.
And I need to do that whether or not someone is around and whether or not there's someone to do it with. And I really learned, mostly through quarantine, how to really, do things alone and how to be my person and live like that number one character. I would say life is a single player game, and keep going, because that's literally like the answer to success is to just keep going. Like if you give up, then also if I give up, like what am I saying yes to for the rest of my life?
Right.
Like my day job? Not me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I would never forgive myself if I gave up on my dreams. Absolutely not. Keep going. Life is a single player game.
Love that. Do you mind me asking, what is your day job?
So I do, I'm a senior product developer for Macy's Corporate. So I work with designers, overseas vendors, negotiate pricing, nothing crazy exciting, nothing creative. Like my side hustles and my passions bring me all my happiness. And I'm going to have a great team and a very good company work culture, which is why I've been there for so long. Like my day job is not fulfilling me. So but my passions do. And there's no way I could ever give that up, just keep going.
Keep going. And, and we talked about this as the 2 episodes ago with Sket, where, you learn being creatives, we're creatives, having that short time, long time in corporate, I think helps us out so much, because when you're pitching your show, it has to appeal to the creatives, but most importantly to the suits, and what's the language that I have to present this in so that they understand this is going to help them, because that's the bottom line, right? At being in corporate, that's what you learn. Like I'm just a small piece in a bigger system, and the bottom line is the numbers, the money. The money. So
is it going to make money?
Is it going to make money? Like, give me the key items of how this is going to benefit me. And I feel like for me and a lot of my friends that I have, or people that I have on this podcast, is that helps us out so much to navigate that. So
absolutely,
good to hear. And also managing people. It's managing personalities, because when the show happens, the writer's room, the actors, the producers, blah, blah, blah. It's managing people. How do we manage? If you're managing a team, you have a team, and you're good with that, this person's going to need this type of stuff. Or this person, I need to talk to this person this way, and that's invaluable. That's gold. Okay, so next question. What is your go-to song to get you hyped?
Ooh, Russ, do it myself. I don't need her. I don't need him. Fuck it, I do it myself. That gets me so hyped. It never fails. Never fails. Never fails. It's my number one right now.
I love that. And also, it'll be the first time that Russ has been added to the Word to Your Mama guest hype list.
Let's go.
So I'm going to have always, as always, it's in the show notes. So I add whoever's the latest, I add it and I put it to the top of the list. But you can, listen to it on shuffle or whatever.
I'm going to have to go get that.
First time Russ is on. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, final question.
Yes.
Jasmine, what will be your legacy?
What would be my legacy? Oof, I love that question. The obituary question.
The obit.
The obit. So when I think of legacy, I think of the lives that I want to impact. And so I'm saying this from my current position right now in life.
See.
And then my like 30 years down the line goals, because I do have those. I want my legacy to be I want to provide opportunities for, like, I was born in projects in the Bronx and I made it to Columbia, Barnard. And that is such a rare story. And that I have a problem with that being a rare story.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I really have a dream long-term I want to open up a boarding school. And I want it to be from like K through 12. And I want it to be a feeder school into like all the Ivies or any other, great, amazing colleges. There are so many. And so I really want to get involved in education. So I want that to be part of my legacy, in giving those opportunities to other people. And I want it to be a school that like teaches you like the real life goals that you need to know, teaches you how to think, a school that teaches you based on what your natural inclination is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a creator, but I was put into this box with everybody else,
right.
and we all had to learn the same thing. And I think that's the way you kill creativity and you kill people's drive and passion. So I would like to have a curriculum that is, dedicated, like specific for each student based on what their natural inclinations are. So that I definitely want education to be part of my legacy and, providing opportunities to other children that were just like me. I'm also Puerto Rican, and, I do want to move back to Puerto Rico at some point. And I say move back because that's where my family came from.
Right.
But, my mom was born in Florida, and my dad was born in PR. He came here. And so I really want to move back to PR at some point. And so my legacy there, I do want to, I want to create jobs for people on the island. I don't know how yet, but I know it's something that I really want to do. Whether it's like start a coffee farm, a sugar farm. I don't know. I want to create jobs, something for people, in PR. So I want that to be part of my legacy. And of course, I want to make impactful TV shows that like really tell the stories of, people whose stories are not usually told, stories like mine, and so many others. I even have like other like show ideas, that I already like, they're in the vault. And I'm like, that's going to be another show I make. Like show number 2, I already got it down in my head. And I haven't even sold show number 1. But I got it in my head already.
Right.
So, I want to tell stories of, communities whose story needs to be told. So I want that to be part of my legacy. And last, like above every, like all of that, is great, but I really want to be, remembered on my legacy to be like bringing joy. I live in a state of joy no matter what. Like, obviously I have bad days and stuff, but like my number one goal in life is to just have fun, like have as much fun as possible, which is why like, I do all these fun, creative things, and I want my career to be those fun, creative things. And, I want to spread that to other people. Like I said, one of the 3 words to describe myself is a light. I really feel like I am a light. And, I think other people feel that and notice that too. And it's always appreciated. And, I always love meeting other people the same way. And so I definitely want that to be part of my legacy.
Jasmine.
That's a very long answer.
No, it's good. That's why it's the slow as hell questions, because I want people to like, get into it. Some people don't have an answer and they're figuring it out on the spot. Some people, like, I feel like you've known this, like it's been in you, and and you know that this is what I want to do, because I think for you, it seems like your legacy is just your life mission of what you're trying to achieve. So I'm super excited. I don't know, we just met like literally like a couple of weeks ago, but you do have a light, and I'm drawn to people with the light. And I have certain feelings, and I feel it in my bones that whatever you set out to do, it happens. So we'll see your show. We'll see your show.
Thank you.
We're
Absolutely.
going to see the education. Where's Jasmine? Oh, she's at her house because, she lives between her house over here and her house in Puerto Rico. So please believe it. It's all going to happen. So Jasmine, tell the people, I'll have it in the show notes, but the people that are listening to take mental notes, where can everybody find you? And anything you want anyone else to know? Break it down.
Yes, of course. You guys can find me at Slay with Jazz. That's SLAYWITHJAS. That is my tag on all platforms. Go check out my funny videos on TikTok, Instagram. I actually do have a YouTube also. It's not updated, but at some point I was creating a dance vlog, just documenting my journey as a dancer. So get some moves in there and some recaps, that's fun. And, no one ever looks, but like my highlights on Instagram, if you go all the way to the right, you can see my like basic bitch coffee segments and my cubicle talks. And it's from years ago, but it is so funny. And it's just, it cracks me up and it'll crack you up too. So I hope you guys check that out and just stay tuned for what I got going on. My website is jasmine.nyc, and you can see at the top, there's a bunch of little microphones of all the different podcasts that I have been featured on. So feel free to look at that too.
Sweet. Muchísimas gracias, Jasmine. I really appreciate you and excited to see, everything that is coming our way from you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Ritzy. It was great talking to you.
And now, introducing
the Supernatural Bear Corner. Supernatural Bear.
Hello, I'm the SMB, and that intro is quite outdated. I've been begging my mom to make a new one, so hopefully we'll have a new one by next episode. No promises, though. So today we're answering the question, what if? So, I have a quite supportive family and stuff. They're really nice. They support me and yeah. But I was just thinking how it would be to be a first generation person whose parents are immigrants and don't really know that way in America, get what I'm saying? I have one word for what that would be. And it starts with a B. Haha. And if you couldn't tell already, that would be bad. 'Cause having parents that know less about America than you do, that'd probably be really bad. Yeah, I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that you should be ashamed. Of who you are. Whoever's listening right now, you are an amazing person, or you guys are amazing people. But that would really suck. Like, honestly, not having a supportive family, it's really good to cherish your family when they support you, because, next for 1 minute, you're having pizza parties and Chuck E. Cheese with your best friend, playing, Pac-Man in 83. Then the next day, you're just like, your mom barely knows how to speak English. Your dad, I don't know, went out for milk or something. And it's just drab, plain, not fun, bad child. Like, that would suck. And I'm pretty sure we've all had our moments where we like, parents, I hate you, I don't like you, but we should really be grateful for what we have. These parents, they're amazing for most of us. Like, for most of my my friends and stuff, we've all had a moment where we didn't like our parents. But hey, at least it wasn't like that. So just basically a lesson to be grateful for what you have. This is just a lesson put out my tailpipe. But yeah, really important to be grateful for what you have. Because you might not appreciate it until it's gone. You shouldn't not appreciate it till it's gone, because that's bad. But anyway, this was the SMB Corner, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Stay safe, guys, until all are one. Oh, new catchphrase. Let's go. Yes.
Shooby-doos. Yeah. There you have it, folks. Episode 91 with Jasmine Ruiz. How awesome and dope is she? And don't we all want to see that TV show? We need it. Gordita Chronicles canceled. That one movie, Batgirl, canceled. We need it. Representation matters. We don't need Franco to be playing Latinos. Like, we don't to be playing Fidel. There's plenty. And we need this. Sorry, got a little passionate about it. But yes, and then the supernatural bear, I mean, no clue. I don't think it sucks, but it would definitely be different. I just, try to remind him and try to let him know that there's all different types of experiences. And I also, for days tell him stories of how it was for me growing up as first gen in the 80s. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Gen X timers. Again, thank you so much for all your support. You know where to look for any links of importance that were mentioned in the episode in the show notes. In the show notes, on the app that you listen to. Also, if you happen to go to wordtoyourmama.com, you can email us, DM us, what have you. Other ways to support: become a patron. Become a patron on Patreon. Buy us a whiskey, buy us a coffee. Let's see what else. You can buy something from the store. We got t-shirts. We got prints. We got enamel pins. We got all kinds of things. And also something that's free is tell your folks, tell your peeps, and tell your friends. That's it. Super simple. Leave a review. Boom, boom, boom. But if there's anything you have, if you want to be, part of the conversation, part of the episodes, whether it's the regular episodes, whether it's the once a month, the Nerd Out with me and T.I., who is Lisa Jenkins. She's white. She's not black. Don't let the name fool you. And we talk about what we're currently nerding out at. And then also the relatives. That's me and my relative Naisha. And we chronicle our movie type moments from when we met and back in junior high, middle school for the current kids. So yeah, if there's anything you want, anything, questions, any, comments, whatever, and you want us to answer them, shoot us email, DMs, whatever. And I'll call it a day. And as always, we reap. Word to Your Mama is owned and produced by Ritzy P. Intro beat produced by Nico Beats. If you want to know more, you want to email us, you want to get the media kit, go head over to wordtoyourmama.com. Word to Your Mama is now part of the Latina Podcasters Network. And as always, Word to Your Mama is brought to you by RitzyPeriwinkle.com.